Breaking right now, Hugh Grant taking on Piers Morgan over Prince Harry. And could this celebrity showdown end up in a boxing ring?
Hold on to your monocles, folks, because the British media is a full-blown brawl. The headlines are ablaze and the newsroom floors are shaking with the intensity of this clash. Prince Harry, once the cheeky royal, is now locked in a battle royale with the press. His every move is scrutinised, every word dissected. The prince has taken a stand, challenging the relentless pursuit of the media. Hugh Grant, everyone's favourite stuttering charmer, has joined the fray, championing stricter media regulations.
With the Duke of Delusion watching on, well, certainly that's the dream of Mr. Morgan. But let me take you through this so you'll remember that last week, Prince Harry, the Pussy Prince, as I call him, bottled facing me in court. We were going to be there on Thursday. I was going to be giving him some home truth. Instead, he approached Rupert Murdoch's Sun newspaper and said, okay, I'll take the 10 million. I'll take the 20 million. Let's just move on. This was celebrated by Hugh Grant, the Hollywood actor who has long been campaigning against the British newspapers and Rupert Murdoch in specific. So Piers Morgan posted on X, reminder, Hugh Grant took many millions of pounds from Rupert Murdoch to make movies for him. Hypocrite. Hugh replied, bullshit. The last time I worked for a Murdoch-owned company was in 1994, which was long before I knew anything about his paper's methods. Since then, I have turned down every single job offer emanating from a Murdoch-owned company. But Piers wasn't done there. He wrote, update, your movie Florence Foster Jenkins was distributed by Murdoch-owned at the time 20th Century Fox in the UK. Hashtag hypocrite and liar. Hugh replied, that film was made for the BBC and Pathé. My contract was with them. I have no control over which local distributor is subsequently used in various countries. Fox was just local distributor for the UK. Keep up, Piers. Piers was enjoying this, though. He then posted the fishing emoji, saying, this is the type of reaction I wanted from Mr. Grant, and said, everyone wants us to have a fight to settle this. I'm up for it if you're man enough. And goodness me, I'd love to see a fight between those two. I'd also love to see Piers Morgan knock Hugh Grant out, actually, especially after his sanctimonious interview with the British Bashing Corporation about the Prince Harry court case. Watch.
He's not just an actor anymore, he's a vocal advocate for privacy, pushing back against invasive journalism. And Piers Morgan, the king of controversial takes, is gleefully fanning the flames. With his sharp tongue and unfiltered opinions, he's become a central figure in this media melee, stirring the pot with every broadcast. It's a right royal rumble of accusations, hypocrisy, and enough drama to make Shakespeare blush.
Quite clearly now, there should be Leveson 2. This is something that was repeatedly promised by the Labour Party in opposition to victims of press abuse over and over again, and now suddenly seems to have disappeared from their priority list now that they're in government.
Well, let me put to you what Lisa Nandy, the Culture Secretary, said to my colleague here on Radio 4, Sarah Montague, just yesterday.
We've ruled out Leveson 2 as a step that this government will take. We think that a lengthy inquiry that was formulated in a different era before a lot of the cases that we've seen since arise from what happens online, which is where a lot of people consume news nowadays, which wasn't the case previously. And we don't think that the Leveson 2 inquiry is fit for purpose.
What do you say to that, Mr. Grant?
I have some sympathy when I'm in a generous mood for politicians who are terrified of the Murdoch organisation and of their power to destroy their careers and affect their political ambitions and their party's fate in an election. But this is why we now need leadership from the Prime Minister. If a government is there for anything, particularly a Labour government, it is to protect the public from the abuses and criminality of big corporations.
Brittany from the Royal News Network back with me now. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know who annoys me more, Hugh Grant or Prince Harry. I don't agree with Piers Morgan on everything, but certainly on Harry's case, he he's completely right. I mean, he wrote about the settlement, Brittany. So moral crusader Prince Harry took the cash. Will he now be issuing a full and unequivocal apology to the royal family for his own serious intrusion into their lives for personal financial gain? Or is it royal intrusion absolutely fine when he does it? What a hypocrite. So I actually totally agree with him. I'd love to see the fight with Hugh Grant. But where do you stand on all of this?
I mean, it was just so clear, at least to me, that Harry just was like, I don't know if a light bulb went off. I don't know if the horror of the last month has really gotten to him. But to settle after he claimed and went on and on and on, just even last month, about how he was going to get justice for all the victims and only he could do this. And then to have him cave at the last minute, I was like, really? Because he just wrecked his entire argument. Like, anytime now he comes in and complains about the press, I'm going to be like, well, you settled and you claimed that you wanted to see this through. And then you took the easy way out after obviously he had been offered settlements multiple times. And so it's just completely ridiculous. But it's funny too, to hear the Hugh Grant side as well, because I think the person from the Labour government is actually correct. This is an inquiry that really has nothing to do with the current news environment. It's totally changed with the advent of social media. So I think almost the Leveson inquiry, I don't even know how helpful it would be to the media, because at this point, all those practices that they utilized in the past that may be borderline on illegal or what have you, I can't say for sure, but none of that is really applicable anymore, because nobody can really do those things in the same way. Like, nobody has a landline. Like, that's just so old school. So I think in many ways, it's like, this is totally past what anybody cares about. I think people have so many more things of interest that they would like the police and court systems to pursue than this case that really seems to be just driven by a spoiled brat of a prince, I would say, and a Hollywood type. I think everybody else is like, we don't care anymore.
The stakes are high and the players are relentless, each with their own agenda and a point to prove. This isn't just about tabloid gossip anymore. It's a battle for the soul of journalism, a fight over ethics, responsibility, and the boundaries of free speech. It's about power, privacy, and the very future of how the media operates. The lines between public interest and personal privacy are being redrawn, and the consequences could reshape the media landscape forever. Buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into this media maelstrom. The outcome of this royal rumble will echo far beyond the palace walls, influencing how stories are told and who gets to tell them.
I mean, look at what's going on in the world. Look at what's going on in the United Kingdom. This should absolutely not be a priority for the police. I would actually argue Hugh Grant and Prince Harry and Gordon Brown and all of these privileged members of the establishment are wasting the police time. There was investigation after investigation into this, and it's almost like Harry and Hugh won't stop until Piers Morgan is in jail. That is what they want. They've admitted that both privately and publicly. It's not going to happen. They should move on. They both live very privileged lives, and actually, Brittany, if they really cared, they had an opportunity to take this to court, but in the end, they proved they were all about the money. They were prepared to take the money. So spare me the moral lecture, Prince Harry and Hugh Grant. It is just so annoying. But I actually think one of the other reasons that Harry may have settled this case, Brittany, is because he's increasingly under pressure when it comes to the likelihood that he lied about his illegal drug taking on his immigration papers before entering the United States. And there is firm pressure now building on Donald Trump, the new president, who is, of course, being very firm and very strong about deportations for lots of other foreign criminals. So there is growing pressure on him not to give special treatment to Prince Harry. Meghan McCain, who hasn't been a big Trump supporter, she actually posted on X about this. If Trump deports Prince Harry, they will put him on Mount Rushmore, as in, do it, do it, do it. And Niall Gunn, an absolutely brilliant man, you'll know him, he's been on here before, from the Heritage Foundation, who is keeping the pressure up, posted President Trump's mass deportation program should include foreign users of illegal drugs. Brittany, Harry is going to be concerned about this, isn't he? Because Trump is showing in the White House 2.0 that he means business. He ain't suffering no fools this time around.
No, he's definitely not. We even saw this weekend, actually, there was a plane taking some illegal immigrants back to Colombia. The Colombian government rescinded their allowance for the plane to land. And then Donald Trump announced, oh, okay, we're going to tariff this, visa that. And within an hour, the plane was back on the way. So I think there's a new sheriff in town. And I think Harry and Meghan's sort of deluded thinking that somehow their American royalty is going to die at some point because they've truly made themselves a nuisance. We all find them essentially annoying, and Harry was the one who wrote the book. Nobody told him to reveal all the like things that he did in his book. And he put that out on paper. And if he did lie about it, it'll be fascinating to see if it is, then things should be revealed, especially if he has something like a diplomatic visa. Like we deserve to know if he's just here to make money. Is he here with the correct visa, or did he get some sort of special deal visa for from the other administration that he should not technically have? And so what is his status here? I think we all deserve to know. I'm not super into the idea of deporting him. I feel like that's a little harsh, but I think he shouldn't be able to like hide himself behind something. It's like we deserve to know he's not only being here as a prince, but he's trying to act like he's a prince of America. And I think that needs to end, and that message needs to be sent to Harry and Meghan loud and clear. You are private citizens. Do private citizen things. Stop trying to do this cosplay royal routine. We all find it annoying, and just do your whatever your professional business is, just do it and go home and leave the rest of us alone.
Prince Harry, once known for his charming antics, has taken a stand against the British tabloids. He's filed lawsuits, accusing them of intrusion and harassment. He claims they've crossed the line, invading his privacy and that of his family. Some applaud his courage, seeing him as a man defending his loved ones. Others whisper about hypocrisy. They point to Harry and Meghan's Netflix deals and public appearances. They question if the couple truly seeks privacy or simply wants to control the narrative. It's a tangled web with no easy answers. One thing's for sure, Harry's fight is far from over.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I sort of feel like Brittany, and this is so ironic, the thing that will end up keeping Harry in America is Charles and William. We know Trump has so much respect for the British royal family, and he will not want to cause any issues for the king, especially given his sympathy for the king, given he's suffering from this very bad cancer. And he's so conscious of the fact that William is currently managing the fact that his own wife has just got over cancer too.
Right. So I think it's pretty remote that anything large would happen, but I think his visa status will probably be revealed at some point. I think we probably deserve to know what the status of that is.
But then how can he
And
stay at that point?
yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. So I don't know exactly where Donald Trump has bigger fish to fry than Prince Harry, but I would suggest to Harry and Meghan, keep quiet. Just do whatever the Hollywood entertainment thing that you guys are attempting to do and fail at. Just keep trying that. Maybe it'll work at some point. But if they're going to, and they've said they plan to do like foreign royal tours or whatever their cosplay royal routine is, I don't think that'll sit well with this current administration. I don't think they'll like it at all. I think they'll share things and make it very difficult for them because they're like, you can't do this. You can't do this. You're private citizens. Stop with this whole routine. And if he leaves the country, he may have troubles getting back. I'm not sure, but I think that definitely did factor into this case. It'll be interesting to see how things go with the Invictus Games, but obviously it's a bit easier to cross into a place like Canada or something. But it'll be fascinating to see where this goes. But I think there's going to be a lot of pressure and interest. And so I think best for Harry to lie low. That would be my suggestion to him.
Hugh Grant, the quintessential British charmer, has become an unlikely crusader against media intrusion. He's been vocal about the need for stricter regulations, even testifying before Parliament. He argues that the press holds too much power, often abusing it for sensationalism and profit. But Grant's stance has drawn criticism too. Critics point out his own complicated history with the tabloids, including past scandals. They question if his motives are pure or if he's seeking to silence the same press that once exposed his own transgressions. No media storm is complete without Piers Morgan. The controversial commentator has become a lightning rod in this debate. He's publicly sparred with both Harry and Grant, accusing them of hypocrisy and entitlement. Morgan argues that public figures, particularly those as privileged as Harry, should expect scrutiny. He's unapologetic in his defense of a free press, even if it means ruffling feathers and pushing boundaries. Love him or hate him, Morgan is a master at stirring the pot and keeping himself in the headlines. But about the very nature of truth and trust in our society. The repercussions will be felt in politics, business, and everyday life. Trust in traditional media continues to erode, fueled by accusations of bias and manipulation. As more people turn to alternative sources for their news, the question of credibility becomes ever more pressing. Who can we trust to tell us the truth? The power dynamics between celebrities, the press, and the public are shifting, with no clear winners. Celebrities use their platforms to bypass traditional media, while journalists strive to maintain their role as gatekeepers of information. The public, caught in the middle, must navigate a complex landscape of competing narratives. One thing's for sure, the future of media hangs in the balance, and the outcome of this war will shape its landscape for years to come. As technology evolves and new platforms emerge, the way we consume and understand news will continue to change. The decisions made today will determine the media landscape of tomorrow, influencing how we perceive the world and our place in it.